The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off. We got about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading right now. And I think I'm getting some feedback, Al, from my own mic, if you can look into it, okay? We have the S&Ps right now up by 34 points. Check out the acceleration from last Thursday at 66.24. We're more than 100 points above where we were at that point. Right now, we're positive by 35 points, trading up 0.5%, 67.31. NASDAQ 100 up by about 0.2%, up 164 points, 24,889 right now. You get the Dow up about 0.4%. Oh, there we go. Up 186 points right now, 46,743, and the Russell up by 0.6%. All the markets in the green. Bitcoin up about $3,000 over the weekend. We're trading at 112,720. Ethereum up by 1.4% or $57 at 41.20. Crude, quite a week last week in crude. We're backing off to begin this week. We're up to 66.42 on Friday. We're off 2% right now, off $1.35 to 64.37. And boy, you know, we talk about yields, we talk about the dollar, and we talk about gold, folks. So right now, we take a look at the yields. The 10-year up by 3 ticks. Okay, we got a 10-year yield of 4.16. 4.16 is the yield on the 10-year. We'll jump over the dollar. And you got continued weakness from that acceleration. We got the dollar at 97.86. And that's all a prelude to gold, pushing as high as 38.60, folks. 38.60. Pretty remarkable. Now, we have the 1 to 1.618 expansion up there at about 38.22. Regardless of how you shake it, it's been quite an acceleration. Come back to a weekly, and that 1 to 1.618 expansion is from the run we had in February. You back off a bit, and that was barely a pullback. I mean, folks, this is a straight line move from 2,000 to 4,000. Straight line move. The slightest of pullbacks. And yeah, take a look at the dollar over that time. Pretty remarkable, the devastation that the dollar is going through to start this year, man. No matter what you price anything in, the dollar weakness is what's driving that gold market right now. And pressure is going to remain on the dollar as rates in focus. And we have a Fed meeting one month from today, folks. October 29th. It's September 29th today. Not getting ahead of ourselves. But we're going to start leading up to that meeting, right? And the realization that potentially those cuts are going to come to fruition when they're not quite baked into the market fully just yet. But in terms of that October meeting, about a 90% probability that they're going to cut. Wait a sec, is that October? Yes, and then by December, about a 70% chance we get 2 cuts and a 30% chance we get 1 cut. So by the end of the year, the market thinking there's a 70% chance we get 2 cuts, 70% chance, that we get 2 cuts, 30% chance we get at least 1 cut. All right. Now, we'll jump over to Electronic Arts. How about this one? So, a consortium is buying EA Sports. It's in the game. They are buying EA Sports this morning, man, for $50+ billion. Let's check it out. So, $55 billion is the number. Largest leveraged buyout on record. JP Morgan, they're going to provide $20 billion, I think. Let's see where it is. Yeah, $20 billion in debt financing from JP Morgan. So they're in the mix. Now, I was reading about this early this morning. So founded in 1982. And, you know, for those that grew up in the golden age of video games, folks, EA Sports, it's in the game. Whether you're talking about Madden football, right? NHL hockey, NCAA, so many great games. Madden, of course, the ultimate. And what's remarkable is, okay, let me see if I have it up. Yeah. So this company was started, check this out. So they're getting bought out, but man, it's always remarkable to go through. So, man, so this morning I said, who founded this company? What, right? What person, what man or woman founded this company? And the person who did it, his name is Trip Hawkins. Trip Hawkins. And remarkably, okay, he was one of the first 50 employees at Apple. It's pretty remarkable. This chart goes back to 1990, okay? So he was one of the first 50 employees at Apple. He was the head of marketing, I believe. Let's see. So the guy goes to Harvard at the same time as Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer. He's working at Apple as one of the first 50 employees, director of strategy and marketing. And what he realized is that they had all these brilliant guys working on boring coding, right? Working on the Apple coding, working on whether, maybe Microsoft, right? These brilliant coders, right? These brilliant technical savants that were working at the time. And he said, we should be letting them doing like more fun stuff. Like, let's get them into some games. So he invests $200,000 of his own money because he was already working at Apple. So he was making good money by that time. $200,000 in 1982. He raises some venture capital funding as well. Wozniak was on his board. You talk about cementing things in the beginning, right? You come from Apple as an early guy. You're in charge of marketing and strategy at Apple. You bring Wozniak on your board. They launch EA. One of their first games they come out with, okay, was Dr. J and Larry Bird. And it was one-on-one with Dr. J and Larry Bird. And check this out, right? So he paid Larry Bird and Dr. J $25,000 each and 2.5% of royalties. Seems like a pretty good deal in terms of launching a business like that. Now, the other part that was remarkable that I was reading about this, okay? And I got to make sure I get the right one here. Yeah, this is it. So this one was in his Wikipedia because I was reading this. I mean, folks, if you played video games in the 90s, right? EA Sports, even saying it just triggers the memory. But check out what they did. So early on, okay, what he did was EA was a computer software company. It didn't want to deal with Nintendo's strict policies. He saw an opportunity when Sega released the Genesis. He didn't want to pay licensing fees. He hired a team to reverse engineer the system for his company to make unlicensed games. He told Sega about it, offered a partnership to combat Nintendo, and said, you can sue, but we did the tech fair and square, and we have great lawyers. And so what did they do? They made an official licensee, gave him a reduced rate. And yeah, so he reverse engineered Sega to be able to make unlicensed games, became an official licensee of Sega, and then it seems like they were off to the races. But EA Sports, $55 billion. They're getting bought out. JP Morgan, they're providing $20 billion in debt. And quite a deal, EA Sports. It's Silver Lake. It's the Saudi fund. It's Jared Kushner. They're the ones that are owning it. I don't kid. All right, folks, we jump around to some of the other Magnificent Seven. We get Amazon shares up by a couple dollars this morning. We jump over to NVIDIA, up by $2 as well. Stay tuned, folks. Come right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger Zen, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger Zen, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. You jump around to some of the equities here. You have NVIDIA shares, as I mentioned, up about a couple dollars. That's a 15-minute. You take a look at the daily. So NVIDIA, a little consolidation here, and it's amazing how quickly 2 months goes by, right? We got a 2-month consolidation at these highs. We were here in July. It's about to be October, folks. We got today, we got tomorrow, October 1st, Wednesday. But NVIDIA, a little bit of a basing action. Between about 170 and 185, we're right in the middle of that range at 180. Jump over to Microsoft shares. Everything in the green this morning. Tesla trading higher yet again to 447 right now. All right, let's jump around to some of the gold stocks. So gold charges higher to 38.60. We're checking out silver up to 47.41. Check out some of these equities. So Harmony, we're making a run for the highs right now. 1877. We're going to open at almost 1877. We hit a high 1899 earlier today. We just jump around to some of the equities. AEM going to open at 167 right now. We got a high at 164. New Gold making a run. You check out some of the silver stocks. Heckler right now going to open at $12. First Majestic going to open at 1260, challenging the highs. We jump over to Vista Gold, pushing 220. Particularly volatile recently at that acceleration for Vista. Yeah, it's just remarkable. It's not stopping, and it's not going to stop with gold pushing 3,900, man. Whew, look at this daily. Check out the weekly. You know, what I will say is, look at this volume, folks. Okay? We have had dramatic volume the whole month of September. The whole month. All right, look at the volume that we've been doing in the gold contract since, so May 19th, you had some volume. But since May 19th, you've only got 1 million contracts once, and meanwhile we just did 1 million for 4 consecutive weeks, and you closed it out with almost 1.2 million, which is the most on record since May 12th. Strong numbers, man. And guess what? You're kicking it off today with strong volume. Right? So I just talked about how we did 1 million contracts in the week. That's an average of 200,000 contracts a day, and we've already done 162,000 contracts today. It's going to be big volume today as well. And that area I showed you in September, it's kind of this area of volume right here. It's strong volume, man. You know, I wouldn't be loading into gold and gold equities right now, but I'm also not selling them. The volume's strong, period. Now the XAU, we don't have the chart from this week yet. Let's take a look at the daily. You don't get volume, of course. Jump over to silver right now, taking a look at the volume. Go back to a weekly. And look at that volume on silver as well. Whew. They're still piling into metals, folks. This is not trading higher on thin volume, right? Not trading higher on thin volume. This is trading higher with volume. Accelerating. Volume accelerating at the highs. How about that? All right, we'll jump to some other equities, jump around. Oracle, a tough week on the pullback last week. Positive with the market this morning by a couple bucks to 285 right now. Jump over to Boeing. Yeah, this makes no sense whatsoever. So, Boeing, I talked about how the FAA signed, it's going to relax restrictions on Boeing issuing airworthiness certificates. I mean, how is this even possible? How is the federal government not able to even just certify the planes for the FAA that Boeing's rolling out? I mean, imagine the incentives of this company. When you got a backlog of planes, it's going to take you 10 plus years. The whole point of having regulators is to make sure that the conflicts of interest among any business, don't take a back seat when it comes to the safety. And from my simple understanding of Boeing, I would say that safety and quality took a back seat to profits. And I haven't seen anything why that would change just yet at all. And meanwhile, yeah, they're going to be able to self-certify their own planes on an alternating weekly basis, which makes no sense when you could just require Boeing to pay for the government, right? You pay for more government inspectors, period, that are issuing certificates instead of allowing Boeing to do it themselves. But nonetheless, you get that acceleration Friday, and Boeing's higher with the market this morning by a couple dollars. Yeah, look at App 11, man. So they get a price hike from Morgan Stanley. Boy, who needs chip stocks when you got app stocks? I say it in jest, but how about a run from $10 to 700? $10 to 700. Man, oh man. Yeah, they go public back in 2021. You pull back with the market to $9, and we're trading at $689. My goodness. Yeah. Morgan Stanley hiked their price target to $750 from $480. From $480. They were a little late to the party. Now they're telling you can go to $750 when it just almost hit $700. They had a price target at $480, and now it's trading at $700. They say I might go to $750. And what they cite is October 1st, they're going to launch its self-service tool for non-gaming. It's going to be a key catalyst to grow its ad business and prove they can tap into billions of ad dollars outside of the game industry. Well, we'll see if that plays out. You jump over to Intel shares. Quite a week last week. You're actually giving back some of that. You're down by about $1 on Intel shares right now. All right. And yeah, you talk about gold. So how about this one? The gold that's sitting in Fort Knox. Don't believe the conspiracy theorists, folks, or even the president when he sheds light on them, okay? And it's on other places as well. But how about $1 trillion? That's what we're at. Yeah, pretty remarkable. So gold is up dramatically this year. Now, what's remarkable here as well is the official value on the books is $42.22 an ounce. Set by Congress in 1973, that values at $11 billion. But guess what? If you put it at the price tag it's at right now, $1 trillion. We'll talk some gold when we come back. Stay tuned, folks.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's right now up by 25 points to kick off the trading week. And we got the NASDAQ up by about 140. So NASDAQ kicks things off up about 0.6%. You got the S&P's up 0.4%. Dow lagging a bit, up by 0.2%. And the Russell up by 0.4% right now. We jump back to gold. Another record high, 38.60 in the futures. We're just off that level. We're up by $41 or 1.1%. And yeah, how many of you know that gold, we got $1 trillion in gold right now? Let's parlay that. Come on, we only got to get what kind of a parlay we got to hit on that $1 trillion just to get it up to 29. No, I kid. But it is a remarkable value of gold. The Treasury's gold reserves, $1 trillion in value. Now, the U.S. government actually holds this gold, okay? In many in many countries, you have the federal bank, okay, which would be the Fed, in our case, holding the gold. But in this case, what the Fed holds is that the Fed actually only holds notes, okay? Earlier this year, an offhand comment by Mr. Treasury Secretary Basil sparked speculation the government's gold hoard would be marked to market. Now, I told you before the break there that right now on the books, $42 an ounce, okay? So on the books, they show it $11 billion. If they marked gold to market, okay, it would release a huge windfall of dollars. And here's where it gets into what I just talked about. Unlike most countries, the U.S.'s gold is held by the government rather than by the central bank. The Fed instead holds gold certificates corresponding to the value of the Treasury sold. Everything is like financial engineering, right? And credits the government with the dollars in return. Okay, so the Fed holds the gold certificates and they credit the government the dollars, but the government itself holds the gold. That means that an update of the value would unleash $1 trillion into the Treasury's coffers. That would cover half of the $2 trillion budget gap that we're at through August. It's crazy when I put it in that context, right? That would cover half of the deficit that we spent in the last 8 months, that $1 trillion of gold that it's taken us, 52 years to amass? When you think about from 1973 to 2025. $8,100 tons of gold. 8,100. Germany with a nice stash of 3,400 tons. And the reason why to keep this one on your radar, Germany, Italy, and South Africa have all taken the decision to revalue their reserves in recent decades, as an August note from an economist at the Federal Reserve noted. So just over half of the reserves are in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Gold was taken there from New York and Philly in the 30s to make sure if there was a invasion on the Atlantic that they couldn't get our gold. The rest is spread between depositories, Denver, and a vault 24 meters below the Fed's building in lower Manhattan. And there it was. I kept looking for the number. I couldn't find it. So 261.5 million ounces. That's according to Treasury data. And yeah, and they have to give nod to the conspiracy theorists that were furthered by the president and Mr. Elon Musk that gold held in Fort Knox might not in fact be there. We're going to go to Fort Knox. That story just drops off, of course. Because, yes, the gold is there. Okay, it wasn't for whatever. But $1 trillion. 261 million ounces. You know what's crazy? And it's not so crazy, but it is. In terms of, the government's made $1 trillion, folks. Almost, okay? But the gold was at almost $220 an ounce. What was our lows back here? Let's get it. 253 I got on futures in 99. Right, the run really takes off when you're at like 264, something like that. What's amazing is all that gold was only worth about $60 billion when I graduated college. It's worth $1 trillion now, and it's nothing. Talk about inflation, folks. Okay. Pretty remarkable. $1 trillion. Gold up by $44, up by 1.2%. We check in on EA, up by about 5%. This thing really accelerated on Friday when the news broke. They're buying them at a deal that represents a premium of about 25% before that news broke on Friday. And they're going to pay about $210 a share. So not quite baked in as you're trading at 203 right now. You think that deal is going to get down 1,000,000%. You could buy it at 203. And they're going to pay about $210 per share for cash. Cash. So it includes Silver Lake Management, Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, and Jared Kushner's company. Obama's kids were just not getting it done, folks. They were just asleep at the wheel. I have to laugh. Come on, laugh with me no matter where you are. The deal's getting done right now across the globe. EA Sports. And hey, we'll see. This is $55 billion. Gaming is quite a section of the market right now that is transforming, folks. And that's what they talk about as well, right? You go from buying games at $60, $70, $80 a pop. And now you have Fortnite. Kids love Fortnite, folks. You don't even have to buy Fortnite, right? It's free to play. They serve you ads. They incorporate, sponsorships in there. They update it free, and then they'll get you to pay some way. It's a very different gaming environment than when I grew up. Now, with that said, right, we have a Switch 2 in the house. We buy Switch 2 games. PlayStation, of course, is a hot commodity. But it's a very different landscape from when EA once dominated and when the business model has changed magnificently in terms of, maximizing dollars. It might not be. Do we have the appetite to buy $60, $70, $80 games like that? Jump over to Take-Two, another one of the big gamers. What are they pushing at right now for valuation? Yeah, $47 billion right now for Take-Two. Another one that Tommy loves to play, but we keep this one really on a time sensitivity deal because Roblox, folks, let me tell you. Now, back here, okay, they're the most expensive gaming company in the world. Drive down to 21, you're back to $138. We'll talk a little bit more about Roblox. We'll take a look at that company when we get back. Be right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, we got some new CEOs. Thanks for putting that one in there as well this morning, Fletch. So you have Barrick and Newmont with new CEOs on the same day with gold reaching these highs. I want to, imagine sitting in this C-suite, right, running these companies. You know you have a run that is generational, okay? As in, now that's Barrick, okay? Jump around. These CEOs that made it through the doldrums where you had gold folks trade from 1979 to be, imagine, right? You get the run-up, in 1979. In 1983, we hit $519 an ounce, okay? In 1987, we hit $507 an ounce. And this is one of the reasons my dad started the Gold Report, folks, in the early 2000s, okay? He had seen this market, right? He felt it was primed. And, one of the things my dad was really good at, folks, was thinking big picture, okay? And whether it was getting into gold before this big run, okay? Whether it was getting into real estate, starting the real estate fund at a great time when that market just got devastated and got into some great areas in Florida, okay? You live through certain things, folks, okay? There's nothing like experience. And my dad always talked about, St. Petersburg, Florida, Tampa, Clearwater. But, as he really got into it and saw the gem of St. Pete, he was so ahead of the curve. And what he talked about was seeing how it took place in South Boston, okay? Seeing this beautiful city right outside of a beautiful downtown happening business environment, right on the water. The point being, history repeats, right? May not repeat, but it rhymes. And he gets in. Well, these CEOs, they saw this run, they saw the pullback, and man, it's been a good run, folks. We were just trading at 1,000 in 2018. You make it through COVID in the last couple of years, what more can you hope for with gold at 4,000? Okay, and yeah, you can hope for 8,000, right? You can hope for 10. At some point, folks, okay, people are going to be able to go melt their gold earrings and get a check for $1,500. We're approaching these levels that, I said to a client I was talking to last week, we were talking about, some of the trade. Of course, I wish I had more exposure. Everybody does, right? In gold right now. Can't have enough exposure in gold no matter where you were. It's just like we talk about housing, right? I said to friends, man, I should have bought a house every single year, right? From the, hindsight 2020. But it is remarkable that you get both CEOs stepping down. Now you have Barrick, okay, Mark Bristow. My dad interviewed this guy many times, okay, many times. And he used to run Rand Gold. If you remember, this deal gets done. They say it here? They might. It was 7 years ago, I think, because I was reading another article about this morning. So Bristow is 66, stepped down from his role, okay, steps down. They have their CEO. Yeah, he's just departing after 7 years after he took the helm, after its take over the company that he previously led Randgold. And there's Barrick. And this morning on that news, there's a little volatility on him stepping down. It bounces back. So Mark Hill named COO and interim CEO. So he's currently, Mark Hill, responsible for Barrick's Latin America and Asian Pacific regions. He's been appointed COO and interim president and CEO. The board's committed to finding, now this is Barrick, we're going to get over to Newmont in a moment. Board's committed to finding the right leader to capitalize on Barrick's assets and capabilities. All right, and then we jump over to Newmont. So Newmont dives lower by a couple bucks on that story. And yeah, as they announced the retirement of their CEO, Tom Palmer, names president and COO Natasha Vajoan as successor. So not even interim. Take a look at Newmont. This thing, look at that run. Maybe Tom Palmer was looking at the 1 to 1.618. You're back to right where this thing fell apart in 2022. Excuse me. I kid. But so Newmont just peaks above where we were in 2022, and that's an all-time high. Hey. So you're going to have the CEO of Newmont. He's going to be on as a strategic advisor until his retirement March 31st. So the Newmont CEO is technically going to resign on December 31st, and he'll be a strategic advisor until March 31st for the quarter, for a 90-day period, and then he'll retire. Yeah, pretty interesting. You get two of those, and boy, you talk about companies, folks. Newmont's a $100 billion company. It's almost as big as Intel. Yeah. And you jump over to Barrick, $60 billion. Yeah. $100 billion and a $60 billion mining company. The two of them, the CEOs are out today. What do they say? There's no such thing as coincidences? And hey, there's no mischievous actions, but when CEOs start saying, I'm just going to take this moment right now to ride into the sunset, maybe think about the prospect for the future, because they wouldn't be stepping down if they thought they had a huge acceleration coming in the future, folks. I'm generalizing, of course, but all right, speaking of, we jump over to Intel shares. A little bit lower action, down by 3.3% right now. You get the Dow in negative action. The Russell really gives it up. Amazon up by 0.5% right now. Microsoft up by 0.7. Look at that volatility on Microsoft this morning. Oracle flat. AMD catches a little bit of a bid. We're up to almost 163 from 160 right now. Jump around. Look at Robinhood. Up 4.4%, man. Yeah, I saw a tweet they posted in the Tiger's Den as well. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Talking about, those prediction markets. Yeah, Robinhood, a participant. We got the S&P's up by 28 right now. NASDAQ 100 up by 221. All right, we'll take a look at the heat map. We're going to see what's moving. One more segment. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's up by 28, NASDAQ 100 up by 225 right now. And we jump around to Robinhood. So, yeah, Vlad out there, thanks for posting it, Fletch, in the den, talking about prediction markets. And so the actual tweet out there, folks, is that Robinhood prediction markets just crossed 4 billion event contracts traded all time, 2 billion in the third quarter alone. We're just getting started, is how he puts it, okay? And you look at his tweet out here. And this is the cumulative number. Folks, that's not how you draw a bar chart, just so you know, okay? That's a cumulative number. So this bar here, right? What is this saying? August, June, July, August. No, I guess that's September. Yeah, that's going to be and we're just getting started. I don't know. I can't even make sense of this because I don't think that that's what it's saying. No, that's cumulative. That's not what we did in September. Yeah, that's a cumulative number. What you want to be aware of with that stuff, folks, yes, they're making a lot of money off it. But if it's a negative sum game, okay, this is the problem with investing and gambling. Okay, and as somebody who's played a tremendous amount of online poker, the sustainability of negative sum games that you cannot beat, right, that have a negative expectation for basically everybody, that's a tough one. In investing, okay, what happens is, yeah, if you're trading short term, there's high risk. But the wind's at everybody's back if you're buying to a certain degree. That's not the case in a lot of these, folks. The fees are so high on some of these contracts, you just can't make money. So be careful over there. But guess what? Investors, they can't get enough. Robinhood up by 5%. Markets within about 30 points of all-time highs, and gold pushing that number as well. Folks, thanks so much for kicking your trading day off right here. Stay tuned. Basil Chapman's up next. Steve Rhodes at 11. Fast Market at 12. Larry at 1.